welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video about the coronavirus update, and basically the government have said let's make it as hard as possible to do everything that we're going to do, which is absolutely fantastic, you know. And you know, I'm wearing a beret, I'm just wearing this shirt, I'm living my fantasy of what I would rather be doing in this time. But the government have released a 34-page consultation on additional GCSE, AS and A-level exam series in autumn 2020. Basically what it is, they've written the pros and cons for each side of each decision and things. There's loads of different questions. I'll read them out. Scope of the autumn series. Should the exam papers be the same? As in, like, should they change them? So instead of having 3 papers, it'd be like 1 mega paper or something. Should non-exam assessment be taken into account? So are they going to disqualify you if you haven't finished your practical endorsement? A proposed approach to non-exam assessment. Separately reported results and grades. The timing of the autumn exam series. Where should the exams take place? Which results will stand? Marking and appeal certificates and EPQ. Then it's like the impact on students, exam board centres, because apparently it'd be really expensive. The reason I wanted to make a video about this is because there's actually a Q&A thing in it, and we need as many students as possible to answer this so that they don't be like, oh, the survey told us to do this thing, when in reality it was like loads of like private school teachers answering this or whatever. But basically it's a whole mess. It is an absolute mess, and the main thing that really upset me is that the A-level exams will be in October and they said the results will be in December. So if you wanted to go to your university place, then they would have started in September. And if you wanted to apply with the grades that you got in the autumn exams, the deadline for early applicants and medicine is the 15th of October. So you're probably going to do your exams after you've already applied, and that is just an issue. And one of the things that was also crazy from this is that they're going to keep both grades. So say your teacher gives you a C and you're like, okay, I'm doing the exam, and then you get an A star, you'll still have that C with, or like, on your name forever. Like, are we hearing this? Like, are they actually serious? And I was watching Primrose Kitten, the teacher's video, and she was saying that for employability and stuff, it will like not make a lot of sense. But my older siblings were trying to comfort me and be like, you know, it obviously it's like a pandemic, so that's why it would have been messed up, but still it's not ideal. So for GCSEs, they were saying if a subject doesn't have a lot of people taking it, like languages, whatever, would they just like not run it? And honestly, this is just so peak, because like, say your teacher gives you like a really bad grade, but like in your mind you wanted to use that, and then you just can't sit it because your school won't be hosting an exam. And I don't really know how they're going to do the exams with social distancing and with safety for all the examiners. And they're also saying the result we get from our teachers in August, we can't really appeal unless you think that your teacher's like incorrectly given evidence. So that's irrelevant. How this is actually going to work is that, like, say for medicine, I have a place, I lose that place, and then I sit the BMAT and the UK-CAT again, and then in October I hand in my personal statement and everything, and then later on October I sit the 9 exams for all of my subjects most likely, and then like by November, December, universities already start giving out interviews. But hopefully they would just like put that as pending or something instead of using the teachers' grades. So they'd give out the results in December, late December, and then by then they would have already, like, you see what I'm saying? They would have already given out after the interviews. And then it's like, obviously you'd rather have a year 12 student who's like perfect than a resit student who's had to resit the exam, you know? So what I'm saying is, worst case scenario, you could end up having to take another gap year, especially if they use your teacher's grades to filter out the applications, because if they want A star AA and then you have whatever grades you have, then that's kind of an issue, even though you know, you would have gotten them in the exam. With EPQs, they've said that they're still doing the whole ranking thing and like the moderation, I don't really know. They're saying about the private candidates, and it seems so peak, like they're literally just not going to get a grade unless they enter into a different exam place and pay loads of money and stuff. So this is literally not ideal, but honestly we can only be thankful for our health at the moment because it's a mess. They're saying like it's a problem to equality, which they said it themselves. Boris has had his update, and alongside supporting David Cummings, not really ideal, because how can you say that people can't do something and then do what you're not saying that everyone shouldn't be doing, and then driving and lockdown? But basically the year 12s, 10s, 6s, 1s and reception will all be going back to school. And I've seen on Twitter that the private schools won't be going back, so this is again showing the inequality in this country. But I hope that like all of the things about children are correct and that they won't spread it easily, they won't get it easily, because honestly that would be just so sad, because schools are so overcrowded as it is. It's just so sad to think about like their grandparents or family getting it from them. So I hope that goes well, and I hope that the teachers are able to use this time to teach things that are really essential to them and will benefit them. Especially for the younger years. It can be like painting and stuff, which is great, but I feel like considering there's so little time, they really need to be focusing on the educational difficult stuff. But I can really feel for the teachers out there, because like this is literally crazy. Like they're doing one thing 1 second, online lessons the next, it keeps on changing. So hopefully it will all work out and, you know, it will be okay. I feel like it's not really been handled the best, especially because we still have so many cases and deaths in this country. One thing I hadn't really thought of was that with the standardisation, they're going to be using what your school got in previous years. And on Twitter, I was seeing a lot of teachers saying how they've moved school and really improved the cohort's grades. And especially for small schools, this is really a problem, because say last year like one person got an A star and then a new teacher comes in, everything's improved, then that means that that class will still be held to the same standard from the last year. So that's not really good and will definitely cause problems for poor schools. On Twitter, the teachers are saying that it's basically the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, you know, like the kind of class divide like continuing on. But it's really difficult, because I don't really know how else they could do it. Well, I do know how else they could do it, but the way they're definitely trying to make it more fair. And yeah, as they say, it's really unprecedented, so they don't really know what to do, they don't really have a plan of what to do. So, you know, it's okay, but it's going to definitely disadvantage a lot of people, and I think it's going to be a really sad day on results day, because usually it's like, oh yeah, like X got 3 A stars and they predicted like 3 Ds, and then they're going to Cambridge hashtag, and it's like amazing on that day. But I feel like it's going to be really sad, especially because teachers were the ones to give you the grade, and then imagine your teacher gives you a grade but then it's like standardized, so it decreases like a grade. So it's just a mess. But you know, it's a pandemic. Not gonna lie, some of my teachers, my sixth form teachers, are quite old, so that could be quite a worry as well, because they could be at risk themselves. So say the teachers that are shielding whatever, what are they going to do? Like, how are they going to continue? And I don't really know what they're going to do with year 12s and their predicted grades for university, because they probably haven't had their mocks yet. But, you know, I'm just going to not think about that. I'm just going to put this all away from my mind. I'm going to continue chilling out and wearing my berets and just living, because that's all we can do at the moment, because it's just crazy. I hope everyone does the consultation and answers all the questions. It's literally just quite quick to do and it will probably help. Link in bio for that, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.